The search party for my 6-year-old son was called off. He's gone, the sheriff said flatly. My wife blamed me and left. But I couldn't stop. I went back to the woods alone, retracing every step. That's when I spotted it, his favorite toy truck, half buried in leaves. This isn't just a story about a missing child. It's about the moment I realized the people I loved most had been systematically destroying my life, brick by brick, right under my nose. And how I became the kind of man who makes them pay for it. Chapter 1. The Vanishing. I've always prided myself on being a man who controls his environment. At 38, I'd built a construction empire from absolutely nothing, turning forgotten lots into luxury homes. My hands were callous, my eyes steel gray, a testament to clawing my way up from poverty. I never forgot the hunger that used to gnaw at my belly as a kid. But all that control? It meant nothing the day my 6-year-old son, Kenny, simply vanished. It was a Tuesday morning. He was just playing in our sprawling backyard. My wife, Dixie, claimed she'd only stepped inside for 5 minutes to answer a phone call. When she came back out, Kenny was gone. No signs of struggle. No witnesses. Nothing but his abandoned sandbox toys and a gate somebody had left wide open. My first instinct? To tear that town apart, board by board, until I found him. I organized search parties, hired private investigators, offered a $50,000 reward. For 3 weeks, I barely slept. I combed through every inch of the dense woods around Pine Ridge, calling Kenny's name until my voice cracked and bled. But the local sheriff, a lazy man named Douglas Clay, seemed more interested in his coffee breaks than finding my boy. These things happen, Leon, Clay had said, his voice infuriatingly calm. Kids wander off. Sometimes they come back on their own. But I knew Kenny. My son wasn't the type to wander. He was cautious, almost anxious by nature, a trait I recognized, inherited from my own childhood, spent dodging an alcoholic father's fists. Kenny wouldn't have left that yard willingly. As days stretched into weeks, I started noticing changes in my wife. Changes that made my gut churn with suspicion. Dixie, who normally freaked out over the smallest scrape on Kenny's knee, seemed oddly composed about his disappearance. She'd spend hours on mysterious phone calls, speaking in hushed tones, hanging up quickly whenever I walked into the room. Who is that? I'd ask. Just my sister, Claire, Dixie would reply. But I'd called Claire myself. She hadn't spoken to Dixie in weeks. The breaking point came when I discovered Dixie had been secretly meeting with Gabriel Potter. He was this smooth-talking real estate agent who'd been sniffing around my business for months, trying to convince me to sell prime development land at rock-bottom prices. I followed her to a small diner on the outskirts of town. I watched through the window as Gabriel held her hand across the table. Both of them were laughing while my son was missing. That night, I confronted her. How long? I asked, my voice deadly quiet. Dixie's face went pale. How long? What? How long have you been sleeping with Gabriel Potter while our son is missing? The slap came hard and fast, but I caught her wrist before she could pull away. My grip was like a vice. Don't you ever, I said, my voice barely above a whisper, lie to me again. But instead of breaking down or begging forgiveness, Dixie's expression hardened with a coldness I had never, ever seen before. You want the truth, Leon? She snapped. Kenny's gone. And he's not coming back. The sooner you accept that, the sooner we can move on with our lives. Her words hit me like a physical blow. Not just the callousness, but the certainty in her voice, as if she knew something I didn't. Chapter 2. The Sheriff's Decision. Full story on the channel. Link below. Click now and watch what happened next.